So we have a Oriole bird feeding here, and there's a pair, a female and a male, that switch back and forth, and they make turns and drink nectar. I have to mention that I believe these two are pairs, and they have a nest close by, because they never come together at the same time. They switch back and forth, the male and the female. The male is brighter yellow color, and the female is more like lighter yellow. And they are they usually nest in South America, but if they find substantial source of food like a feeder or something, then they occasionally nest locally. And this is the male. As you can see, the color is much more bright yellow, and the back feathers are all black. And as soon as the other one leaves, this one comes back, and there is only like a minute gap. Obviously I cut out the gap, but from the female's departure and the male's arrival and vice versa, the gap is no more than a minute, meaning their nest is not very far. It's somewhere around. And as you can see, when these birds come, the hummingbirds don't usually bully them. But if there is another hummingbird, then the hummingbirds will fight. See, now the hummingbird is here, and there is another hummingbird, and now watch them fight. See that? They don't want to share the nectar. But when the Oriole birds come, because they're much bigger and powerful, so the hummingbirds are not messing with them. So here comes the female. It's drinking nectar, and the hummingbird is leaving it alone, sitting up top. It's also interesting that the Oriole bird knows which nectar belongs to it, although the hummingbird doesn't. The hummingbird sometimes drinks from the wrong nectar. The one for the Oriole is orange flavor. The Oriole bird. I keep saying Oreo as if it's some kind of cookie. The Oriole nectar is orange, and the other one is, I believe, cherry flavored. So now, as you can see, remotely on the ground, there are a whole bunch of quails. And there goes the female is gone. So now we have the male. The male is drinking nectar. And there comes the hummingbird and sees the male, leaves, and we have a whole bunch of quails on the ground, if you see remotely. This is such a beautiful and magnificent bird. It's amazing how beautiful this is. I mean, you have to see this in person to appreciate. Nobody saw that. That's okay. These are really thirsty birds. As you can see, they drink for a long time. And another thing I noticed, that honeybees sometimes come and drink some of the nectar. I didn't know that honeybees actually go to bird feeders, but yeah, they do. Very few. I mean, it's not very common. Actually, we don't want honeybees to come because they're actually pollinating the trees and whatnot. So you don't want the honeybees to be busy getting their nectar from feeders and not pollinating. So now the Oriole bird is feeding, and the hummingbirds are not messing with them. They're fighting amongst each other, but they're not messing with the Oriole bird because it's way bigger. Besides, this is the orange feeder, which is for the Oriole bird, not for the hummingbird. There is a whole bunch of quails in the bottom. Remotely you could see at the ground level. And now the hummingbird sat on the top as the other one hovers in midair. And the Oriole is taking its time, is not being intimidated by the hummingbirds. It's taking its time and, drinking nectar with peace. And it will leave any minute. There it goes. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.